One of the next goals of algorithms is the ability to predict what is not yet there or what has not happened but will happen.
In questo contesto ci sarebbero stati dei funerali di Stato, ho immaginato dei funerali di Stato in Duomo che ci saranno.
Predicting the future. Thanks to generative models, we cannot generate future scenarios, but they can give us an idea of what is to come. That future, today, is the 14th of June.
Il tentativo era appunto quello di dimostrare che l'intelligenza artificiale produce immagini sempre più realistiche.
This guy is Claudio Riccio, creative strategist at Latte Creative, and 2 months ago he generated the images of Berlusconi's funeral with Midjourney. Well, there are no Duomo figurines thrown on this plastic face, but there are 17 photos that allow us to highlight weaknesses and strengths of generative art.
L'intento era di provare a descrivere la storia, la parabola di Berlusconi, quindi fortemente divisivo e vari aspetti della sua vita con una specie di fotoreportage.
But first, is this image real or generated? Let me know in the comments. Here you can immediately see the distinguishing features of Midjourney version 3. Difficulty in generating flags and a total lack of context reading. In cases like this, you just need to carry out a process called controlled outpainting from a real image of the square. Here I have no idea whether golden coffin was specified in the prompt.
Ho immaginato una bara d'oro massiccio che dubito ci sarà, ma era il modo per descrivere un funerale con delle caratteristiche legate a un personaggio impattante, ecco, insomma, nella storia del nostro paese.
Coding continues to have problems. I'm not a master of cameras, but I'm pretty sure these aren't believable. Yet these imperfections can always deceive the human eye, especially if these images are presented to us quickly when scrolling. In the photo editing phase, no matter how much you take to cover these imperfections and coding problems, there will always be someone on the internet naive enough to overlook these details. At first glance, you don't look at the Milan logo, but at the red and black scarf, and then you will find God knows what is this.
Avevo immaginato l'arrivo di Putin a Roma. Putin non arriverà evidentemente.
It is interesting to note the output of the same model but 2 different versions. The evolution of human somatic features already marked a new step in generative art in early 2023. Now the models have no problem generating an imaginary lighting plan, and this step alone has started to fool more and more people. Now with version 5.1, monstrosities with hands should no longer be common. At least I hope. In editing, this step was one of the worst to cover. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Look at this stuff. And what we may consider a weak generation is a generation just not credible. Suspension of disbelief doesn't happen because we know this too in other contexts. Certainly not under the Golden Saint Mary. But as the original creator, Claudio, certainly knows, one does not simply generate a project or a concept. One experiments with many outputs and many variations of the prompt. I don't think people in Europe will catch this Easter egg, so I need a quick repost. This generation demonstrates the attention developers at Midjourney have paid to the deepfake phenomenon. If you insert a subject as a reference image, do not expect a perfect replica of the real face. In the editing phase, if your goal is to create deepfakes and maybe sell them, you're not being creative. You're just a prick. Try to be responsible with what you generate. Today is the 14th and I have no idea what real pictures will come out. I have prepared this video in collaboration with the Digital Talent Academy with the aim of helping you to critically identify imperfections, discrepancies and contextual dissonances. These photos could have been dangerous even a year ago, but anyone who underestimates the magnitude of this artistic phenomenon is still missing the right interpretation of it, reading it as a point of arrival and not as a starting point. My name is Victor, I produce artificially generated human narratives, and yes, I have also been deceived. This picture is real.